Good afternoon everybody. Sorry about cutting the intro slightly shorter, but this Ryanair departure and Audrey McDonald will slay me. It's, as I read it, Rocklaw, but I think it's something like Rockoff or, oh, I don't know. Sorry Audrey, I am a hopeless case. Okay, sorry about the faffling in the background. Good afternoon everybody. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation's Friday stream. I've just got a couple of tweaks to make at this end. I just couldn't resist catching the outgoing Ryanair. So let's get to the chat. Keith Cornell, #1 in the chat. Well done you, Keith. Well done mate, good afternoon. Mark Sanderson, good afternoon Mark Sanderson. Hope you are in good shape. Yeah, I think heavy showers could well be the order of the day this afternoon. More on that one in a bit with the weather forecast. Okay, political bias, how you doing PB? Hope you are fully rested up after your dream trip to Aberdeen. PB and I share a love of Aberdeen Airport. Speaking of Aberdeen, Abby Garvey, good afternoon, Abby. Hope you are well. And from our A1 moderators team, we have Alibi 58. How you doing, Alibi? Hope all is good. Rab H is simming away, but is due to land in about 30 minutes. Is that inclusive of paperwork, Rab, or is that just wheels down? Either way, thanks for joining us. Tony McCall, how goes it, buddy? Hope all is well. Catching up, Tina York. Good afternoon, Tina York. Hope all is good with you. Layla Bergman, how you doing, Layla? Hope it's all good with you in Sweden. Here it is the back end of summer, I think. Could be as good as it gets in terms of what's left. Let's just see. Lynn Appleby, good afternoon. Lynn, welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation. I'm Mark, your host, and we'll be running the show till around 4 o'clock. Might be a slightly earlier finish if the movements dry up. Sometimes that is a hazard at Newcastle, as regulars will know. And if there's anything that's coming in just after the hour, we'll hang around for it if it's sufficiently tempting. So we'll just play it by ear. That's Mark's long way of saying that. So where were we? Lynn, wasn't it last? LA girl, welcome back LA girl. Hope all is good with you. And welcome back also, in fact let's go one up, I've jumped one of our A1 moderators, Alexandra Wood. Alexandra, how are you keeping? Ewan, good afternoon, welcome back. Yeah, Alexandra, do not overstay. We love seeing you, but we do the big picture well here at Plain Sailing Aviation. Looking after you is our first most priority. Mel W, how are you doing now? I got this notion in my head, this must be pre-dentist, or you're sitting there waiting for your turn in the chair. Either way, another member of our Ace Moderators team. Nell, how goes it? In fact, I've just got your message. Yeah, literally a few minutes before your check-up. Oh, happy days, eh? And let's have a look. Another moderator. Another. Get my words out right. You can tell I've not been near a show for a few days. Good afternoon, Les Donaldson, the latest member of our moderator team. Hope all is good with you, Les. I think I'm catching up for once. Keith Cornell, it was entirely my pleasure. You actually, and I think it's the way we roll on this show. I don't think we're unique in that, but we are an aviation channel with friends. So if anything planey is of interest, or even non-planey, it's always a good share. There's so little on TV. Terry Stapley, good afternoon, Terry. Aviation Adam, welcome to the show. I think I'm nearly getting there. I can see something on arrivals, on finals. Alan T, Colville's finest. How goes it, Alan T? Yeah, Nell W. I like to be in and out of that dentist chair as quick as etiquette prefers. Although my dentist is a smashing chap, but he's super thorough, which kind of delays things a bit. Next arrival anyway, a 737 from Palma de Mallorca. Departed 2 hours 15 minutes ago. And let me get it on your screen. Da, 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 da. So a few days away for yours truly with Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation. I'll regale you with some of that in a bit. It won't take much regaling. Anyway, first arrival of the show. So nice brisk start. Doesn't always work that way. One in, one out. Regulars will be delighted to know this is in fact going to be a toga-free show. Got the tripod on pretty much the maximum that I can stand on without a box or something. I think I'll probably bring a box to the next stream. This hedge line is just driving me crackers. And whereas I understand they're going to trim it in October, I'd prefer not to think about October at this point. Anyway, that's first arrival landed. Let's get back to the chat. Let's have a look. Robert Smith. How you doing, Robert? Hope you're keeping well. Certainly good at this, mate. Deborah Speller. Good afternoon, Deborah. Hope all is good with you. Bank holiday weekend. Oh, police helicopter zooming in. Let's have that one. I saw it go out when I was setting up. Couple of interesting jets at stand. I'm not quite sure what types they are. Bizjet Fokker 100 type dimensions. Of course, we're into the grouse shooting season, and whereas that's been open for a few days now, kind of wondering if it's in any way connected. Anyway, here's the Federales after their latest patrol. anyone new to the show, as I always say, the sound you just heard there is the metro line that runs directly behind the camera position. And again, if you're new to the stream, that is the tower, all 45 metres of it, or thereabouts. Carl Shield, how you doing, mate? So you've got the American military in Dublin. Cool or what? Oh, Les. I feel your pain, mate. US Air Force 757. I was on the way back from my trip with Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation around stately homes and castles type stuff. We stopped off in Leicestershire to see my parents, and we stopped off by East Midlands Airport, because you know me, if I can find a way of putting an aviation angle in. Pulled the curtains back in the morning, and the thing I see in front of me is an A330 tanker inbound from Ascension Island. I managed to get a quick snap off on my phone, but my phone is truly not good for that sort of thing. But yeah, so I didn't really satiate what I would have liked from that. It was screaming out for a proper 4K picture. Anyway, that's the thing about plane spotting, is it not, folks? It's a bit like fishing. There's always another day. So back into the chat. Aviation Adam, how are you going? Hope all is good. And Stephen Marchant, hello my friend. Thank you for joining us. Sorry I missed your message if I missed it earlier. Well, I did miss it, obviously. I am precarious at best when there's lots to look at quickly, but I know you'll indulge me in that. Hope you're doing well, Stephen. Love aviation, don't we all? Good afternoon to you. Hope all is good. Jeff Peterson, welcome to the show, and definitely happy Friday here from Newcastle International Airport. So what were those other planes I was talking to you about? These pair here. Now, I don't think we'll get the best shot, but it's a pretty exotic looking tail fin. If anyone can, what's that, 2SEKA? If anyone can tell us what that is, that would be useful. Alan T says, what was the toga effect? I think subscribers plummeted. I think we're helping people through their after show therapy. In fact, that includes me. I tell you something, in all seriousness, I'm going to be a little bit more diligent when it comes to accepting dares and wagers. My natural sense is I'm pretty much game for anything. It's probably not the best look, but as Eddie would tell you, I am a proper sucker for any kind of dairy kind of thing. Anyway, when I say dairy, I don't mean the milk stuff, obviously, but you know, I'm working on it. Let's have a look at some deboarding action while we just allow me to cruise up the chat a bit further. Mark Sanderson. Yeah, the Borat bikini show. Are they those mankinis? Right, there is no wager that can be constructed that will get me presenting in one of them. They are truly awful creations. Whoever came up with that for Borat pressed all the right or wrong buttons, didn't they? Most definitely. Oh, Abby, that bites, doesn't it? Missing a Fokker in Aberdeen because of school. We had a show here, didn't we, a few weeks ago, which was to include a Fokker 100. I can't remember who was flying it now. Been to bed several times since, but it was running so late that we missed it for the show. And yeah, the fact I'm remembering that now tells you I'm still grieving it. TCC, how you doing? Just having a quick lunch at work? Well, don't give yourself indigestion, TCC. It's fantastic to have you with us, though, here at Newcastle International. Peppy Pitty? Good afternoon, Peppy. I hope all is good with you. Back to our aircraft. I think this is the one Ewan's talking about. A 4-year-old G6500. Oh, it looks, the tail fin looks pretty darn cool. and Les has just tied it up. Obviously my eyes didn't quite, I think I've conflated a Z with a 2. Oh man, age is going to be cruel to me. South African as well, so South African GLEX, so cool. Dopey Corp, I did not expect to see you, my friend. I thought you'd be well at it, but it's a pleasure to be in your company, buddy. Another member of the Ace Moderators team. TCC checking in on Rab. I may have missed your route and aircraft, Rab. Once you're free of the plane, do let me know what you were flying and where you were going. Dear. An Alibi 58 as the comprehensive descriptor on. Let's just go back to our what was a mystery plane, but now, because of you sharp-eyed experts in the chat, we know to be a Bombardier Global 6500 GLEX. Registered Zulu. That's a Sierra then. Echo Kilo Alpha. Anyway, it's a pleasure. Nell, no, put the mankini thing. I mean, if I could dare Eddie into wearing a mankini, but you see, he doesn't do camera, does he? So I don't think he's going to be at it. And while I think about it, because it'll all be relevant later, please do hit that like button if you've yet to do so, because you know how much it helps the show. And if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, because neither help, they do help, they help massively. Neither cost you anything. It's the feedback in my headset that's fogging me there. It helps the channel massively, it really does, with YouTube, and it's a nil cost thing. Memberships we do have, that's on the little dollar button. You just have to click on that without obligation, and it tells you the 2 levels and what you get and what they cost, both competitively priced. And that takes me to where I was going with this. So on the last show we set a likes challenge for 150 and we just fell short of that. So the point was, at 150 Eddie and I were going to donate a membership, so we've just rolled that forward to today. So we will do that at 150, or if we hit 100 concurrents before then, if folks remind me in the chat, we'll do it then. It's uncharted territory, folks, because I'll be donating it off my phone, and those of you who know me regularly through the show know that it's best if I touch as little tech as possible. Got a well-honed rep on that one. Howard Charleston, good afternoon, Howard. Hope all is well with you. Welcome to the show. I'm Mark. What part of the world are you from, Howard? Don't know if we've said hello in the chat before. Oh, back to our exec jet. Terry Stapley says it's owned by Fireblade Aviation. Now, I don't know about you experts in the chat. I don't think I've heard of Fireblade Aviation, although they sound pretty exciting. Right, I think we're kind of caught up. So let's just get some sense of what's happening next. So here is our 777 due to depart at 2:05. So what we got, about 15-18 minutes, something in that region. That is our next outgoing plane. As in, well, not next outgoing plane. It might be actually. No, I think we've got KLM out. I'm having a bit of a back to front moment, which I'm very good at. So anyway, let's get back into the show proper. Let's do the weather, because we need to get this one boshed off. I can see somebody's on finals, so apologies if I've missed that in the chat. We'll dive onto that momentarily. It's another easyJet, this one from Faro, having departed 2 hours 34 minutes ago. Twinkling in the sky, which gives us enough time to do a bit of weather. So, drifting into showers really from 2 o'clock onwards. So it's, in fact, just getting a bit cooler here now. I've got a fleece tied around my midriff, which is about 10 minutes away from coming on. It's gone from being really summery to quite chilly. 60% chance of a heavy shower from about 3 o'clock. And everything at this end is very much teed down for a rapid battening of hatches and all that, because if it comes fast, you've got to move fast. I've made a note to myself that the temperatures are a pleasant 16 degrees centigrade with a hint of pending autumn. I I think pending autumn is more than a hint, folks. Let's just go back to this Jet 2 momentarily, just to refresh the camera before we go to our incoming Jet 2. So, westerly ops here, planes coming in over the North Sea, so runway 25, southerly wind transitioning to southwesterly, and that's a constant speed of around 7 miles an hour, 6 knots, which if you converted all of the above into a windsock image, it'd look a bit like that. The wind's not really a factor. Gusts, such as they are at 10 miles an hour, 8.7 knots. I'm joined at the airport again by Orson the horse. He was doing a bit of neighing and whinnying not long before the show started, but I think that's because he thought he was watching me eat a snack bar, and I think he thought he was getting a piece of the action. And as you all know in the show, folks, Eddie doesn't get a piece of Mark's snack bar either. So, second landing of the show, this inbound from Faro, depending on how you want to say it. More Faro, isn't it? Faro sounds more like the where the Egyptians all are. Pharaohs. Faro, definitely Faro. Tend to get a decent number of Jet 2s in the afternoon period, but happily we have a bit more than Jet 2. In fact, conversely, we tend to get fewer Ryanairs. More of a splattering, really. Alexandra, just spotted your exit. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great afternoon. John Vogel, good afternoon from Melbourne, Australia. By Jingo. What time is it there, John? I get all baffled with me time zones. Howard Charleston, you're in Wales, are you, Howard? I wonder what the weather's doing with you. Alan T says if Concorde was to land here today, would I wear a mankini? I don't think I could do it. I'd hate myself too much. There'd be a kind of mental health issue, wouldn't there? Oh, another chopper coming in. Has the police snuck out without me knowing, or I don't think they have. Can't rule it out though, can you? I'm going to put the graphics on the screen in a minute, folks. I've deliberately left them off for the opening of the show. Not for the first time recently. Signals are pretty poor here on both my sims, which are different networks. So the last couple of Newcastle shows, I think we have been glitch free, but I didn't want to tempt fate today. So if I put the art on and it wobbles anything, I'll take the art straight off. Couldn't be simpler. Ah, there we go. Bonus chopper. Right, I think the steps are still on the back of that triple. Is there anyone standing at the top of the steps? There is, isn't there? Well, there was. I'm going to have to put the camera somewhere else because the focus just keeps catching on the pesky hedge line. Let's look at our smiley dolphin waiting its turn. Right, back into the chat, see how we're doing. Carl Shield, I'm not sure if you're asking about easyJet at Newcastle or part of a different conversation. Yes, we've got easyJet in this afternoon, just after 2. Might even be what's next in. We've got the one with the Europe car sticker. No, next in, a Chewy 737 MAX 8 from Naples. And we departed 2 hours and 36 minutes ago. Ewan asks us, Emirates boarded? I believe it has. Although if I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure what time it came in. Well, someone's blowing whistles outside the hedge line and it's causing Orson the horse to get a bit excitable. I have to watch that. Chris Marshall says a few arrivals on finals. Spot on, Chris. Just what we want, isn't it? Bit of final action. But if I sound slightly distracted, it's because I'm keeping an eye on our co-presenter, whose ears are up, tail swishing. Whoever was blowing that whistle has got his attention. You could probably hear it, actually. Good afternoon, Trevor. Welcome back to the show, mate. Hope all is good with you. Right, we have hit 100 concurrents, so I am going to gift a membership, assuming I know how to do it. Eddie normally does this stuff, but Eddie is in Spain at the minute. He's never in England, is he? What the devil is that all about? It's like a referee convention. Anyway, here we are. Naples inbound. MAX 8, first MAX 8 of the show. Right, folks, so if you are with us, please do give us that like button if you're enjoying the show, and stay with us because we're going to gift a membership momentarily. Little tester from Art, really, isn't it? Fascinated who's tooting the whistle. There's a sports pitch not far from here, but it kind of is not really sounding referee-like, and it's not sounding very atmospheric either. Certainly the horse does not like it. So we will gift out a membership momentarily. We'll try. And if at first I fail, I will find a way of doing it between there and the 150 likes. It all looks very simple on the phone, which is how it should be. So I will think, or would think, this will go to the far side of the terminal. In fact, while I think about it, shout out to my mum and dad, who invariably watch the show. Don't jump in the chat or anything, but they are regulars, so hi mum and dad. Oh, KLM a pushback, Smiley Dolphin departure, pretty imminent. TCC, you are right. And do you know what the worst of it is? He has me round mowing his lawns and stuff. In fact, let's just check if he's in the chat. So, Les Donaldson is calling a Jet 2 from Ibiza, Golf Delta Romeo Tango Echo, a 23-year-old 737 on finals. Right, let's see if I can give this membership then in that small window, because it is just a little dot. Right, this is Mark gifting, take one. Really, I could have done with a behind the scenes camera, couldn't I? So you could have a jolly good snigger. It's always more fun if you can laugh at my adventures. Sure as hell I do. Alright, here we go. Plane, sailing, aviation, yeah, good start. So let's go on to the page. It's making me watch the ads. Let's get rid of some of the ads. I may have to peel off this, folks. My pathetic progress being overtaken by the rate of descent with this Jet 2 arrival. Don't worry, it's coming. A bit hazy at the back end. When the sun is out, it's absolutely divine. The minute you lose the sun, it's a different day. Right. Trevor asks, am I listening to ATC? No, Trevor. It's a good shout. I think it's just a sort of sensory overload for a 58-year-old duffer like me. I've got my own sound coming back through my headset anyway, so I monitor my own sound levels. Then you're keeping an eye on your encoder, the chat, and pointing the camera. It's not a bad shout at all, but I've just found it easier not to. I've had the conversation with Eddie. Let's get our smiley dolphin off to Amsterdam. So it may well be we put him on ATC traffic in the future. But I think with flight radar, most of our needs are kind of satiated. It's only when there's a bit of a delay really, isn't it? Or something exceptional happening. Right, see if I can get this gifted membership out. Right. I just own the worst phone in the world. Don't want that. Let's go back. Right, what can you do? What can you do? Super chat, membership gifting, good start. I want to donate 1 membership. And I agree to terms and conditions. And I buy. I have to put our password in. Right folks, sorry about the camera being nowhere particular. So let's see if I've got this done as advertised. Oh, bugger me. This is set for Eddie. Well, right. I'm going to have to do this a different way. This is set up for Eddie. I ain't got his card. I've got my card. Right, let me just quickly check in on the chat after that debacle. Eddie, if you're in the chat, do the necessary, please. Good afternoon, Jaden McNeish. How are you doing? John Ellison, good afternoon to you. And yeah, mercifully, Howard Charleston, the whistling seems to have gone. Carl Shield, it's an interesting question you ask about ATC. I think there's a divided opinion. I've seen letters that other streamers have had from Ofcom which suggests that if they can present a bona fide case that it is a training purpose, then theoretically they are okay with that. But I think it's a grey area because they haven't actually, they could easily change the law to just make it as straightforward as it is in other jurisdictions, and they haven't. And we just want to keep things simple at plain sailing aviation. So what are we looking at next? KLM departure to Amsterdam. Right, let's start popping the graphics back on, one at a time, see how we do. Find out which straw might break the camel's back. So that's that one first. I'm just going to quickly say hi back in the chat again, and then I'm going to go back to trying to donate this membership. Did I see Audrey McDonald? Audrey, how are you doing? And good afternoon also to Lucky7. Justine Hewitt. Hello Justine, how are you doing? Right, there's got to be another way of doing this. It seems that Eddie's got it set to Eddie. I don't want to do that. Found what I need, I think. So we're going to add a different card. Don't go away, folks. Gifted membership about to appear. It's probably going to message my blinking phone, isn't it, next, to make this even more of a faffle. So let's add a card. Right. Put an expiry on it. You know the drill. And last three. Yeah, we're doing that. Better make sure I don't leave this out for the blinking horse to have a chew. So, here we go, folks. Put my password in for the second time in the show. Somebody's on final, so I better pay attention. I'll rely on the chat to tell us what that is. Oh boy. Looks like an Embraer 145 is my first. Not sure which one this is. Payment successful, it says here. So, my last day with the plane. Let me know. Well, I should be able to see it in the chat, shouldn't I? Hey, it worked. Trevor, come on down. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation. So that was a membership we were going to donate on the last show. We didn't quite get the likes challenge, but a promise is a promise. And I said if we didn't get to 150, I'd do it on 100 concurrents. So, yeah, there we go. I'm not sure which plane we're looking at here. I'm probably a bit behind, aren't I? I know it's a Loganair, Scotland's finest. I'm not sure there's a Stavanger flight, and I think Southampton was the other one, but I can see neither on the screen. And I think they both come through in roughly the same time. Anyway, next inbound, Jet 2 737 inbound from Malaga. A little bit high in the sky, so let's just stay over here at the minute. I did a little bit of background on these, the two Loganair Embraer 145s that are due in. Let's just see if I can see the plate on that one. Sajel. I think Sajel is... That started with British Midland back in 2000 and No, sorry, no, I lie. July 1999. Anyway, so the other one, so that's it. That's the Southampton flight. So the next Loganair you will get to see will be from Stavanger. That will be Golf Sierra Alpha Juliet Golf, which started off with British regional airlines. And I'm going to confess, I don't remember them. Of course, we both all know, don't we? That doesn't count for a lot. Anyway, let's concentrate on getting this Jet 2737 down on the deck. Not chase it too urgently. It's a little bit hazy fantasy at the back of the bus. So we're kind of into that showers window now, aren't we? Anything after 2, getting more acute towards 3. Let us see. I'm just laughing to myself with the notion that I came close to, well, obviously process prevented it, donating a membership paid for by Eddie. Oh, you can't be this father and son kind of to and fro, can you? Good afternoon, Sam. Furlaway. No, Triple is parked, although I think they've taken the doors away. Certainly the rear doors. Can't quite tell if the jet bridge is connected. I think it probably is. And in addition to Sam, welcome to anyone that has recently joined the stream. I'm Mark, your host for Plain Sailing Aviation. Welcome to Newcastle. I would have said sunny Newcastle when I was setting up. Now it's just cloudy with a little bit of sunshine. Not raining though, so still time to mow those lawns if you are thinking along those lines later. Oops, sorry, I'm getting overzealous with the panning. Trying to run my eye onto the chat. RCC, how you doing, buddy? Hope all is good with you. It kind of seems strange, doesn't it? Certainly for our UK viewers, we're in the bank holiday weekend already. You can't make this sort of stuff up, can you, really? Chris Marshall says, next in is a A319 baby bus, Eurowings from Dusseldorf, an airport we've covered previously back in May with Plain Sailing Aviation. I have overpoweringly fond memories of Dusseldorf. Not so keen on the security search area there. They were a little bit too fussy for Mark's personal taste. Came out a couple of power banks light. So that incoming plane from Dusseldorf, registered Delta Alpha Golf Whiskey Uniform, is a A319-100. And just out of curiosity, because I'm a bit random as regulars went over the show, I thought I would look up and see how many Eurowings have got. They have a total of 37 A319-100s in the fleet. The plane you will be seeing is 17.7 years old and started out with German wings back in December 2005. Where does the time go? I'm just training my eye back on that triple. Let's take the camera that way. I'm just going to pop another graphic on the screen. Let's go with Let's put the clock up, see if that's the one that is one too many. Yeah, we'll see. It's like some kind of game of Complunk today. So, crikey, I'm fed up with signal being pants here, or just good enough, because you really want plenty of margin of resilience. I don't think he's in the chat, and I think these messages pop up when you are in the chat, but I'm just going to give a shout out to Digit Jumbo, one of our much valued members, who's just renewed his membership since the last show. So just wanted to say on air, thanks Digit. And of course, I think the graphic will pop up in due course anyway. Probably needs you to be in the chat or something to activate it. As everybody knows, members are, or viewers are members, viewers, members, subscribers. There's a lot of tears to this. Lifeblood of any channel. But yeah, I'm just looking in the chat. Jeff Peterson, the Jet 2 summer livery. Not the one you were looking at, of course. That's more classic, as I call it. As is that. This one is definitely very much Allegiant inspired, not expired. That's all with me. Just realised I didn't put my card away. Awesome, the horse would have been after that. Chris Marshall says, am I staying long? Till 4 o'clock, Chris. We might finish a little bit sooner if the action dries up. That's always, as I was saying earlier in the show, the perennial hazard when you are streaming at a regional airport. You don't get the density of traffic that you'll be more familiar with at Heathrow, Manchester and, I don't know, LA, you know, some of those other streams. So it comes in packets, which kind of influences streamers such as myself in terms of when is viable to stream. Kind of got to track the action. And I don't know, with the summer timetable, obviously traffic has picked up, but it's kind of made streaming more of a afternoon event really. So but yeah, 4 o'clock thereabouts. We'll stay on a bit longer if there's stuff to show, and if not, we'll take an early tea if we convert that into cricket kind of terminology. Ah dear. Anyway, where were we? I was going to say in between stuff, so since the last show, myself and Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation went on a bit of a tour of castles, stately homes. Mrs. PSA loves that kind of stuff. Mark, not so much. But it's been one of those strange trips really, where everywhere I've gone, I found myself looking at the sky. So without taking you on every twist and turn, anyone that's ever been Kew Gardens will know that when they're running westerlies at Heathrow, you get overflown there. Absolutely divine. I mean, I love Kew anyway. It's one of those places I really am quite keen on. But yeah, just fantastic. It was a lovely summer's day, and one of my favourite planes went over, and I've not got the means of catching it properly. A Icelandair 757. You know, the one in the Aurora livery? Oh, to die for, that plane. There's me just having a bite to eat, looking to the sky, thinking, I wonder what that is. By the time I got my phone, and my phone is truly woeful, so there was never going to be a useful picture off that. And here's the other thing, very, very quickly. So yeah, Blenheim Palace. Anyone that's been to Blenheim Palace down in Oxfordshire will know it's very near to Oxford Airport. That was pretty good as well. Spitfire overflew us, and a constant procession of pretty natty Bizjets. So I don't know, I think Mrs. PSA probably thought I'd got an ulterior motive in agreeing to the choices of the places we went. Because I think when we were at Highclere Castle we got to see some good planes as well. Anyway, by the by, I did say I wouldn't take you on a rambling tour of Mark's last few days. Final thought though, ice creams, price of ice creams. Now, what I saw last is always the freshest, so Blenheim was our last stop. a double ice cream, £5.50, and a single one £3.50, and that's a scoop, as you can imagine. But I'm always used to the idea that one scoop is probably nearer a scoop and a half. You know, that first bit that goes into the cone, and then you get a proper scoop on top. Wow, not the case. I think I'm still living in the 70s with how much ice cream I think I'm due. Oh, dearie me. TCC, you're not far from... For which one TCC? Blenheim Palace? Highclere? Kew? All fabulous locations. Oh, we went to Althorpe House as well. Althorpe House. You know, the Spencers family home. That was interesting. Something like an aviation cultural attaché. I mean, honestly, I'm no buff whatsoever. I kind of know what I like and I like what I see and all that. Tell you one thing that did stick in my head, and those of you who drink coffee probably know this, and I'm more of a tea person with an occasional coffee habit if I need my brain speeding up. No answers to that one, please, or whatever. But down at Kew, they were saying, I saw this board that said something like 124 species of coffee in the world known, and only 2 actually drunk, and 60% of that being the Arabica coffee, and the other one called, sounds like no nonsense, this other one, Robusta. 35%, that's the other 35%, folks slurping away on their Robusta. Sounds pretty uncompromising. Anyway, random thought. That's all I learned. Chris Marshall tells us our 777 is getting Mark off the hook by showing on flight radar. And I think I'm going to use this moment. Sorry about the scuffling sound there. I'm just going to get my fleece on. I'm giving up now with trying to wait for the sun to come back. I think we are on a road that is going to finish with rain. So I'll just get myself togged up. So let's just put the camera back on the triple, because you know what happens. It's the Kit Kat pandas again, isn't it? Take the camera off them at your peril. So Chris, you are entirely right. It is bleeping away, which is nice. And just as nice, oh, that might be a bit close, like that, we've got that Eurowings baby bus just about to line up on finals out over the North Sea, just past Whitley Bay. We'll cut the coast at Seaton de Laval. Will we see this triple move before then? $64 million question. Right, no frames dropped, so let's put the runway graphic up. Runway graphic up. Let's see how we do. Kind of reminds me of that old crackerjack game from the 70s, Double or Drop. You know, where the kids were, I think, trying to answer questions, and I don't know, if you got it right, you had to hold a prize, and if you got it wrong, you got a cabbage, but you basically got 2 minutes or whatever it was. Anyway, don't know where that came from. Right, the good news is I can see our next arrival, and I can see a Loganair scooting out, which I'm imagining, well, I don't know what I'm imagining. I bet it's not shown on flight radar. I thought that was the Southampton. Let's just see if I can get on the plate. No, that is SAG-G, or SAG-G. Let's just see what my notes said about SAG-G. SAG-G. That was the Stavanger plane. So this, yeah, Stavanger. So that's the one that started out with British Midland, or British Regional Airlines in April 1999. Now, as far as I recollect, it arrived from Stavanger. Must have come in a bit earlier, but maybe it's departing there. If anyone knows, good to know. Anyway, that is definitely your next departure action. Let's position the camera between the bushes as we await our Eurowings arrival. Justine Hewitt says, in Kefalonia in June you got 2 scoops of ice cream each and it was €14. I just can't get it. I know this is a cost of living crisis, but everything have to be in it. Thing was, and I think for those of you who are exec lounge members of Plain Sailing Aviation, you've got part of the package, the membership package comes with a Facebook page. I'll pop it up there. I'm sure I took a picture because of what I'm going to tell you next, because I couldn't stop laughing. I can't remember the venue. Was it Q or was it Althorpe House or even Highclere? It was like the world's smallest ice cream. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was like a doll's house ice cream. Because it's one thing saying one thing, well, like 1 scoop or 2, but if it's a Toy Town scoop, oh dearie me, don't get me going. Anyway, if you are in our Facebook group, I will pop it up just for wry amusement. What I will say is, expensive or not, I had some lovely ice cream over the last few days. I'm a total salted caramel fanatic these days. As we look at our inbound baby bus from Dusseldorf. Fabulous airport, folks. If you ever think about something different in terms of spotting on the continent, I would definitely recommend it. Had a great time from a spotting point of view. It's a big Eurowings hub, but you see a number of their special liveries, but also you see, oh, our triple has pushed back as well. You also get long haul action, including, if I remember correctly, the A380 amongst the others that we saw, some 330s. What a fabulous time there. Crikey, I can't believe it. We're an hour into the show already. Right, let's get this departure before I completely forget it and get the first telescope of the show, because I know Alibi will be ready. So, thanks Chris Marshall. Loganair to Exeter. The airplane spotter. Hey up Finley, how goes it? Finley being familiar to a number of the people in the chat, but for anyone that's not, a fellow spotter and YouTuber that I occasionally bump into at Edinburgh. So Exeter bound is this plane. Right, what can I see over yonder? I'll tell you what, let's go to the triple. That's the only story at this exact minute. So it looks like ops are detaching themselves, or maybe even detached from this mighty beast, a 777-300. As I always do, I like to see where they've been. So this is Alpha 6 Echo Papa Echo, 7.9 years old. previously in the Expo 2020 Sustainability Green livery. Where has it been over the last week? Well, Dubai obviously. Also Denpasar in Indonesia, Manchester, Kuala Lumpur, Birmingham, mixing the exotic with the familiar. Ooh, bit of Jet 2 departure action. I think we'll stay with a triple actually. Anyway, Manila in the Philippines and Hyderabad in India. So it's had a fair jog about. So that's the plane you are looking at. Just going further back up the chart, TCC. It's funny, isn't it? You see these things and a Kit Kat costing £2 from a train. Yeah, or WH Smiths and the likes. It always seems anything at a train station. Yeah, you're right. You think it'd be easier, wouldn't you, to give up all the good stuff, wouldn't you? The price it is. So, Chris Marshall tells us we've got a Jet 2 inbound from Palma de Mallorca. Got no visual yet, Chris, but I will stand ready. Just looking in the chat, Alibi58, thank you Alibi, and it's a reminder to all members, you've got a nice suite of emojis, give them a go. Alibi deploying Scotland's finest in honour of that Loganair departure. Oh dear. Right. Let's just have a quick butcher's. So the next departure will be a Jet 2 737 to Skiathos. Of course, some legendary plane spotting to be had there with a low flying approach over the beach. Alibi says Jet 2's taking a strange flight path. Get it right. So Luke, I'd seen something in the Northeast Chronicle that said they must be short of ATC at Newcastle, as they are at many airports now. I think I'd seen something from the International Association of Air Traffic Controllers that across Europe there was somewhere between 750 and 1,000 ATC operative vacancies. And I know from something I'd seen in the local media here that Newcastle Airport, because of their need to train incoming people, have said there will be short periods of closure for off-schedule movements. So I think what they're basically committing to is that if you go as scheduled, that'll be okay, but there might be some half-an-hour closures to facilitate training-related type activities. Well, I'm conflicted because that triple is moving. I'll tell you what, we're having the triple. I'll go back to that, folks. Got to take a bird in the hand, haven't you, in this one? I think you're right about Alibi. It is taking a slightly deviated route, the Jet 2 from Palma de Mallorca. I'm sure that's what I can hear in the sky above. Although there has been a Ryanair cut across us as well, so actually I think it's the Ryanair 737 I can hear. Anyway, by the by. What we do know is this plane is off to Dubai. So folks, if you are enjoying the show, please do give us, let's get you some action. This one nearly snuck out. This is the Skiathos Jet 2 departure. Beetling down runway 25, or 2,334 metres of it. Those of you who like their airport starts. you won't have failed to notice that those clouds are a bit dark over yonder. Yeah, Mark Sanderson, it's always a treat when we get 07 here. Makes it a little bit of a challenge to catch the incomers because of the hedge line. You don't get much sight of them in advance, but the sound on takeoff in particular, it's worth it. But you're right, it's not 10 a penny. To be honest, it's a real boom to have 07 because if it gets hot and sunny, and you'll see in a minute at the far end of the airport the sun is still out, there's a real tendency towards hazing. Checking out Alibi in with emojis, the 777, 777s and heavies. Good stuff, Alibi. As we look at this 777-300, I can't wait till we start seeing the new Emirates livery appear. I'm looking forward to it. Chris Marshall says Jet 2 done a full circle, lap of honour. I think I'll just park us up, ready for the triple. Mark ready for something, that'll be a change of pace. Good afternoon, Aviation Emily. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you are keeping well. Tony McCall says, runway switch coming. No, I don't think so. I'd be really, really happy if that was to happen. Really would. Yeah, looking in the chat, Keith Cornell, skies are lovely here. I mean, you know, joking aside, they are rarely the same thing, and we haven't done an early stream for a while, but particularly early in the morning, you get some absolute corkers. So Alibi has alerted us to the fact that our Jet 2 from Palma is now eventually on finals, having kept us on tender hooks. So it's not across the coast, departed 2 hours 24 minutes ago. I will assume that the triple's going to hold for it. So the inbound plane just shy of 2,000 feet at the minute. A 737-800. Kind of the stock of the Jet 2 fleet, isn't it? The 737-800. As I look around the terminal to my left, I see 3 Jet 2s. I see 3 Jet 2s and a Eurowings. And a partridge in a pear tree. Tony, you're just getting me excited. I'd be cock-a-hoop, trust me, with a runway switch. It's the sweetest thing here if you get one halfway through the show, because you get to show both ends of the action to folks. Whereas Edinburgh, I hate a runway switch, because obviously getting from Ingliston to Almond Bank or vice versa is not a quick thing. But here, because we're shooting down the runway, it's just a slightly different angle. Mark Sanderson, delighted to help, mate. Delighted to help with your decorating. Got the same thing on the go at the minute. I'm doing Holland Stairs at the minute. Managed to get a coat of paint on everything just before we had our few days away. Second lap to do this weekend, probably. Although we are planning to stream on Saturday. So watch out for the thumbnail, but 10 to 12 is the planned start time. But we just need to check how that plays out with weather and whether there's anything we want to show you that might be in a bit sooner. Yep, I cannot wait till October when they trim these bushes. I'm thinking as well, folks, subject to the weather and a little bit of what's the word I'm after? Persuading Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation that she can have a better day without my company. Thinking towards a possible Glasgow stream at some stage in the week. So if we do it, we'll put a community post out first. Next definite action is here tomorrow. But if it becomes viable to do a Glasgow, we'd very much like to do it. We're overdue a Glasgow return. Right, let's get back to our 777. And I'd kind of like to do one before we get into the more autumnal weather. Simon Kirby, how you doing, buddy? Nottingham Forest's finest. Ooh, just looking in the chat, Tony McCall was at Glasgow Wednesday. Left to come home, it was wet and the 380 was late. Got home and the Icelandair Northern Lights 757 was landing. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happened to me, Tony. You have my sympathy, mate. You really do. Anyway, 777 time. We'll rest up here. See where the horse has gone. I like to make sure I can see the horse at all times. Don't fancy being trampled into the dirt. Hilarious. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Mark Sanderson was thinking of streaming and painting. Didn't want to spoil the bank holiday. Yeah, I don't think I moved the roller fast enough, to be honest, to be streamable. I just want to get it finished. Hall and Stairs is just like, I've made some fairly good progress. I committed to a full lap of the house through the summer. But Hall and Stairs is just a pain. Especially that bit that's on the staircase itself, you know, that's kind of out of your reach. Over the banister, all the high stuff. Anyway, enough about that, otherwise I'll be traumatised along the same lines as I was with the toga show. Less said about the toga show, the better. Rab H, simming stream on Saturday. Sorry, mate. It's a bit of a narrow window for us, I think, here in terms of balancing movements, weather and plans for later in the week, because if we do Glasgow, I'm almost certain we'll do Edinburgh on one side of it or the other, so we just need to just see if the weather is going to make it worthwhile. I don't want to have Tony McCall's experience where I get rained off. We're fairly resilient to rain as long as it's not coming down stupidly hard or being driven at the camera. Got nothing that really protects me against that. Right, let's see if I can find something happening. Well, good news is Orson the horse is on security at the minute, so he's just keeping an eye on the gate. So it looks like we've got plenty of pent-up departure action, doesn't it? Just the case of where it sits in the clock. I think today's show was, during the planned runtime, 31 movements, 14 of those being arrivals and the 17 being the departs. Rab H says, this morning I would have got soaked to the skin. Oh, I'm glad I ducked that bullet, Rab. I did go through a phase of thinking that, I think we had 3 streams on the trot where we took a chance on the weather and got wet. After any more of that, Chris Marshall says, next inbound, Jet 2 from Burgas, almost on finals. Thank you for that. And Alibi58, thanks for keeping me straight because I forget it. Folks, if you've yet to hit the like button, please give us your like, unless of course you really don't like what you're seeing. But I'm hoping if you're watching us, you are enjoying the action as we just ease into the bank holiday weekend here in the UK. And if you're not yet subscribed, we'd love to have you just hit that button. It doesn't cost you anything, and after I think it's 5 minutes you can join the chat, and I think it's, well, it speaks for itself really. Great company in the chat. Ooh, hang on a minute. Tony McCall says they've cleared away the big mound at Glasgow. No, I don't think I did. I reckon that might be the one that Mac was using. Was it like on a building site? Whereas a bit more down towards Gamma Aviation, there's like a smaller mound. Is that still there, Tony? Because that's the one I tend to use. Well, unless that's gone too. Then I'm not going to Glasgow. Oh, man alive. Trevor says, am I allowed to show where I am standing? Yes, my understanding, this is public access land. It's been widely used for that purpose for some time. So streamers, photographers, families watching. It's yes, it's open access land, Trevor. All right, that's interesting, Tony. Yeah, so no, I didn't use that. So that's good. So yeah, the long thin one. It's the one that looks like a JCB has banked the soil up and levelled it off, isn't it? But the grass is very long. Tell you what you have to watch on there. It's proper ankle turning territory. So the long grass, I'll have to watch that one. But I definitely fancy it before the weather gets cooler. Thanks for that, mate. Great intel. So Chris Marshall says, few inbounds en route, and Alibi has got the short finals emoji deployed. And it's like he's got a second camera because it has literally just perked up on my visual radar. Cool. There you do it. Inbound Jet 2 from Burgas on finals. That will be our next action this afternoon. So let's see if my flight radar is cooperating. It kind of is. So departed 3 hours and 33 minutes ago. And that will be the ubiquitous 737-800. Anyway, we'll put the camera on it in a jiffy, and it looks like tucked in behind that we have got a Chewy 737 in from Infida, a 737-800 also. Very much on trend this afternoon. And batting at 3, we have the easyJet in Europe car livery, which is inbound from Bristol, having departed only 39 minutes ago. This is one that causes me some wry amusement. So regulars on the show will know about my woes with the KLM Orange Pride livery and my various ways of not managing to film it. This particular plane, this inbound easyJet with this Europe car sticker on it, is one that we saw at Edinburgh recently. and because Eddie's quite agile with the emojis, he swapped out the special livery emoji just before this plane, this Europcar livery plane came in. So he hasn't lived it down since, and he's not in the stream. I can't really, crikey, that's a bit too urgent. Blinking hedges. It's almost like you've got to go high to go low. So, inbound from Burgas. Next arrival is the Chewy 737-800 from Infida. I can see it, which is a good sign. We'll go to that momentarily once we have hopefully parked up this 737. So it looks like we do have plenty of incomers. So another 3 to come in the next stick. So stay with us, folks. If you like watching landings, we've got plenty of that. Right, let's get back in the chat. TCC. You're just like me. You did 150 miles last weekend. This has got to be a RAB connected conversation, I'm thinking. RAB saying, well, you're knackered. Oh man. Yeah, they're the kind of distances for me, really. DB Bassman. How you doing, DB? Ready for the weekend, I hope? Friday lockdown. John Hughes, good afternoon, John. Oh, does that mean we are just shy of 100 likes, folks? So there's 2 bits to this, looking at Rab H's very kind post. So Rab had agreed to donate on the last show. Oh, crikey. Let's get to the action. A membership if we got to 150 likes. My show's closed. And sounds like we are bearing down on it. So folks, let's liberate that membership. Thanks, Rab. You're a real mate to the channel. And whilst we track this plane towards the terminal, the easyJet A320 from Bristol is pretty much on finals. Next incoming action, a couple of minutes away, folks. So Friday afternoon just rolls on by. Oh, that sounds pretty severe, DB Bassman. Most of your street and gardens have been dug up. Hope they don't find the skeleton. Sounds almost Richard III-ish. Ah, mystery solved. Upgrade to the electrical supply lines. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? If everyone has an e-car changing port, it's definitely going to put an awful lot of pressure on networks. Whoever it is that whistles had their lunch and they've come back. So you caught it. It's a little bit faint at the minute. Mark Sanderson says he would highly recommend you all watch Rab pulling a wheelie in an ATR at Edinburgh on his way to London City. Oh dearie me. Do us a favour, Rab. Back end of the show, otherwise people will be leaving me to watch your wheelies. Post the link, mate. The folks can enjoy that one by the sounds of it. In the meantime, let's see if we can enjoy this Europe car stickered aircraft. Still a little bit far out at the minute. It's me tut-tutting. No dramas there. Now I haven't got my notes in front of me, but I have the notion this plane, it's a Neo, delivered new to easyJet in, I'm going to say October 2018 or thereabouts. And the fact I was wrestling for is when the Europe car sticker was added. And I'm going to stick my neck out and say May 2022, yeah. For some reason, my notes haven't saved in quite... Oh, it is here. Yeah, and I'm right on those things. Sorry, folks. I mean, it was no real power of recollection. I only looked it up an hour before I came out of the house. Even I haven't got time to forget that. We'll track this for a minute. This one being Eddie's nemesis, on account of him swapping out the special livery emoji just before it landed at Edinburgh a few weeks back. Oh dear. Right. So we'll stick on that. So next arrival, according to flight radar, which is what I've got in front of me at the minute. Sorry, colleagues in the chat. We have a 737 from Mahon, departed 2 hours 23 minutes ago, well into finals. Next action, we'll just stick with this a second longer. All right, Rab, drop me the email, mate, and I'll put it in the community post. Yeah, I seem to have avoided the hedgeline there. Yeah, we'll do it that way, Rab. You pop in a wheelie. I've got to have it. Measure for Eddie's latest ramping up of interest in simming. Talks a little else at the minute. So this aircraft inbound from Mahon, Mallorca. 106 likes, says Rab. So 100 up. Thank you, folks. Fantastic support. Let's chase down that final 44. It's just like cricket, you know, like 2020 or the 100. There's 1 hour left to release 44 more likes and Rab's kind donation of a gifted membership. That's a fairer. And the sun's popped out. There's an omen there. Just looking at DB Bassman's comment about how much it's going to cost to put charging points in, I kind of contrast that with, if they find the money for that, which sounds like they gotta, but you kind of think, why can't they fill the potholes? I've seen some terrible roads on my travels in the last few days. So Chris Marshall says that looks like arrivals pretty much done and dusted between now and 3:45. Oh, helicopter. If you want to give me a telescope alibi, I'd have to accept it. What we got? He's in a hurry. I'll have to let it go. Looks like Loganair on the way. Not sure where that could be going. Can't keep up with it. KLM style taxi. Let's see, so we've got a Jet 2 on the way as well. Sorry about that, folks, very erratic panning, shameful actually. Market is multitasking max. Now I think this aircraft is Southampton bound. I think the other one went Exeter, didn't it? So yeah, I think that is Southampton bound. Just looking at departures, we've also got a Bizjet that is beetling off out, a Cessna 525 Citation Jet. It's that one with the Union Jack tail fin. Anyone that's in the flight radar at the minute, you'll see it yourselves. 3:30 it's due out, estimated 1540. Fair chance that might be the final plane of the show. It's a favourite of mine. I don't think I've actually caught it on a stream, but it is domiciled at this airport. Right, where's our... Oh my lord, I missed this one. Oh dear. Yeah, I'll take a telescope. But it was in the chat as well. What we got? Can't really do you any good service there, folks. Let's go and find our Loganair. Scotland's finest. We can rely on them. So, last hour of the show. Unbelievable. Where does the time go? Grab H, thanks mate. We'll pop that into the next community post, because I know folks will want to see that. I want to see it, and you know, hoping I'm on the money there. Jamie Miller, good afternoon, Jamie. Hope all is good with you, Jamie. It's Friday, so it's the start, isn't it? So, okay, so Chris Marshall calls the plane you were looking at, as we suspected, Southampton bound, and Embraer 145. Yeah, I'm going to take a full-size telescope on that other arrival. Dear me. Sounds like we're moving. Be about an hour or thereabouts the flight for this. I've taken it myself, not with Loganair, Flybe, when they were still going. Crikey, where did the focus go there? I'm going to have to stop chasing the ones over the back like that. If they overfly me too straight, sun started to reassert itself. Totally wiped me out, that did. Sorry folks, I've just given you a load of sky to no purpose. Well, I've blinked my watering eyes back to normal. See, if it were cricket, I'd be easy to get out. Can't help chasing them. So, transponding on the deck, we have a Chewy Max 8 departure to Haggerda. I can see, in fact, let me share what I can see. Just talking about it. There we go, jaws like. There is yon tail fin. Plane pushed back and turned. That's going to be rolling out shortly. So let's have a look at the journey. Yeah, it's a decent clip, 4,214 kilometres. Certainly wouldn't want to have to cycle it. I think Rab could probably cycle it. Alibi's got some buffering. I'm not showing any alibi, but if others are, let me know. My transponder encoder, that's the word I'm after, is showing no frame drop. So let's just see. Anyone else getting buffering? Let me know. I can take the artwork off. I've got the artwork, graphics. That's the one I'm after. Keith Cornell, I've just spotted your exit, mate, so thanks so much for joining us, and very much look forward to seeing you next time out, which could well be tomorrow for us. We are planning to be on air, weather permitting, etc., for around 10 to 12, so hopefully you'll be able to catch some or more of the action. But either which way, hang on, let's have a look. Rab is getting the odd buffering. Anybody else? Right, I'm going to take some graphics off. Let's just take the... I've just taken some of the graphics off because the clock eats up a bit of bandwidth. Josh Scott, good afternoon Josh, first and foremost. No buffering there. This is where it gets tricky to kind of code out whether this is a YouTube server issue. I'm definitely not showing any frame drop here, which kind of makes me think it is either YouTube or elsewhere in the connection works. But sometimes, I don't know, you think you've not got any drop, and then you look down again and you see you've lost some. Let's just see. Howard Charleston, been a real pleasure to be in your company, Howard. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Oh, our 737 is moving, so I'll go to the plane and then I'll come back to the chat momentarily. Just check that we aren't light on. Oh, so to say, the buffering hasn't become a thing. So I'm running it on my tablet screen at the minute. I can't see any. But to be fair, the signal here is so marginal, I wouldn't trust it either which way. Anyway, good afternoon to anyone that has just joined the stream. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation, as we bring you the action from North East England's #1 airport this bank holiday weekend, Friday afternoon. Rain hasn't showed yet. We're into the last hour of the show. Rab H has set us a likes challenge of 150 likes to release a gifted membership. Now, last I looked, we were on that path, but I can't trust my screen because, just to make you laugh, mine's frozen on 20 likes, and I know we were north of 100. I think we needed 44 on the last check in. So, if you've yet to hit the like button, there's a free membership up for grabs. And even if you've already got a membership, which, you know, we're intensely grateful for, always that like. YouTube, it's the tyranny of YouTube. Likes and subs. And of course, what's that other one? Notification bell. That's the one I forget, isn't it? So, I was going to bring a stat actually for the show and forgot all about it. I can see somebody lining up for finals. Glimmering in the sun. Is that the word, glimmering? Where was I going with this? Anyway, yeah, so please do make sure you've got that notification bell hit too, because then you know what we are publishing, whether it's a community post or whether it's actually a thumbnail for a stream. Whether you choose to spend your time with us or not, everyone's got other stuff to do, but at least you've got the choice. A bit like looking in the Radio Times or the TV Times or something back in the days of old. Oh, Michelle Johnson! Good afternoon, Michelle Johnson. Lurking quietly with a blankie. Hoping your old modem doesn't kick you off the internet again. Oh dear, let's not get into the IT world. Honestly, Michelle, load here today is serviceable, but I've got no resilience at all. I'm still trying to work out why. Anyway, the good news is, because just keep you in the loop, Orson is still with us. He's just taking a break at the minute. It's exhausting stuff, according to Orson. Right, let's just go back to the tower. We're just going to hold on the tower for a second. Right, Rab H, my friend, do take care. Thanks for your support, buddy. Sorry, my glasses are steaming up again. Alibi 58, thank you, mate. We've got a Chewy from Burgas on finals, 737. And Stephen Marchant asks, is anyone going on holiday from Newcastle soon? I think you are, aren't you, Stephen? Unless I've had my memory erased. You can't whack the feeling, can you? So, here we go. Chewy in, chewy out. The one you're looking at is off to Hagurda. And the one that is inbound is from Burgas. And it's the inbound plane that has the line. So, it's just, yeah, be a bit ambitious to get on it at this point. Let's just, tell you what, I'm just going to wait here for a second. Let's wait on what we can see. Yeah, Stephen Martin, 2 weeks on Sunday, eh?
I am jealous. Tenerifico as well, nice one. Timing's pretty good as well, isn't it? Because there's no question summer is winding down, and by the time you go we will technically be in autumn. If ever there was a good time to say hello to some warm sunshine, it was then. Nice little puff of smoke. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry to hear you're not too good. I wasn't sure if you like resting up with a blankie anyway, because I quite like doing that. Sorry to hear you're not so good. Hopefully nothing that's not going to pass quickly. Yeah, you just settle back. If I send you to sleep, that's alright. Alibi says I've got a knack for this kind of thing. Sending folks to sleep. Okay, Chiri departing to Hagera. I've got visual, so let's get to it, because I don't think that's going to be hanging around long. So it looks like we've got a proper nest of 6, 7, 8, at least 8, 9, 10. So I think we are, where are we now? Last 40 minutes of the show, and yeah, I think we're going to see plenty. And I can see a Bizjet that's cut across from the Biz terminal. Let's just see if I can quickly show it you. Yeah, it's behind those pigging bushes. It would be, wouldn't it? See if I can get a bit of it. I'm guessing that's the citation 525. That little glimpse. Looks like it's having to go the long way around. Alibi's got buffering. Has anybody else got buffering? Yep, Stephen Marchant, got you folks. Graphics off. Let's see what happens there. So if you can hear me, I'll stay with the plane for the minute, as I'm still not showing any drop frames at this end. Let's see. Sorry folks, I did say I was going to stop chasing, didn't I? Just a face full of sun. Right, let's see about what's happening. Well, I've taken the graphics off, so I'm hoping that is enough. Let me know, Alibi and Stephen, as you've both experienced it. There's something common going on there, but I'm still showing nothing drop, so I'm thinking YouTube servery type stuff. Just check nothing else is. No, everything else seems to be where it should be. So that little Bizjet, let's not forget about that little Bizjet. Where is that little Bizjet? There's that little Bizjet. I can hear a helicopter. Whose helicopter? I fancy the police are due to come back out to continue keeping us safe. It's an inbound. Well, I can't get much of a view on it. Too glary. I could probably do with a brolly actually. In fact, let's do that. Bear with me, folks. Just wondering if this will help with the glare that's plaguing me from behind my position. Right, so we are just waiting for our next departure to loop round. I don't see it transponding, although actually, yeah, if I stretch flight radar out, yeah, what we got? It's an OK Aviation Wings Pilatus PC-12, and the cops are out. So where's our Pilatus 12? OK Aviation. There it is. Not a great shot at all, is it? Too much haze there for such a small target. Do you know what? I'm not going to put the camera on that for the minute. I'm going to go where we've got a cleaner shot. Or pick the Pilatus up when it's diving. No point in showing you a hazy fantasy, is there? Right, so the plane you are looking at is a Jet 2 to Bodrum. A Jet 2 operated 737-800. Just pushing back as we speak. Just starting to spit with rain, and our Pilatus is now moving. I think it's behind that bush. It would be, wouldn't it? It's above the bush. Chris Marshall's got some buffering, little at times, yeah. I'm just not quite sure where we go with that. I'm still not showing any frames dropped here, so I don't think there's much I can do that's going to help. Let me just have a look at something else that might just help. No, I've gone very, very conservative with everything I've set. Now I'm all in, folks. 31 more likes, says Rab H for the gifted membership. Super stuff. Very, very doable. As I say, think 2020 cricket. If it was a run chase, I reckon you'd fancy it. Quality of batting in this team. Just having a quick jig around. I've got to take this fleece off, it's cooking me up all of a sudden. Ellie's back from the dentist. Right, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm a little bit away from the mic, so to apologise, team. Let's have a look. So you're back. Did you do okay? Let's have a look. Don't think you're saying, do you? TB Bassman. Pilates on air ambulance duty. I didn't know they actually got used for that kind of purpose as well. Horrendous noise, yeah. It's definitely not what you're welcome when you've got to lie in on the cards, is it? Ah, good. No, all good at the dentist. Good for another 9 months. Excellent. Yeah, I think we're just getting a bit of YouTube gremlin stuff here because I'm reliably showing nothing dropped at all. And of course I've skinned everything back because I knew I hadn't got the strongest signal today. See how we fare. We've got 35 minutes to do. Well, 33 minutes, not that I'm counting. So the plane you are looking at, off to Bodrum. I can hear something droning up in the sky, just can't see it. Alibi says we've got a A400 Atlas overhead. I wonder if that's what I can hear. Let's just toggle onto flight radar. I can hear it, I'm pretty sure. Don't think I've got any visual, although the blue sky is reappearing. It's going to rain tomorrow, isn't it? Because this show was supposed to have a bit of rain in it, and the rain just hasn't showed. Can't say as I fault him. That's me seeing if I can talk to the animals. Nell, it's definitely the horse. What are you like? Although, to be fair, I have been known to make some fairly unusual sounds on air, haven't I? But no, that's entirely awesome. He was laying down, but no longer. Well, the Great British Weather, as they often call it in the press, is having a right laugh. It's proper bakey. But we see how easy that is. Rab thinks it with me. Of course you do! You'll notice my distinctive sounds if Orson starts chasing me around this field, because obviously I'm mic'd up and the clip-on mic is good for about 250 metres from its base unit, I think, and therefore you'd hear me squeaking. To be fair, he's a pretty amiable companion. I think I'll bring an apple tomorrow. I kind of figured that I wasn't going to do stuff like that, because then the horse associates me with food. But I'm definitely accepted. Accepted by a horse. Oh, checking out Alibi, giving that Jet 2 tail fin plenty of airtime. Nice one, mate. So the Bodrum Express is finally moving. Doesn't feel there's been much urgency behind this particular departure. What's happening at terminal level? So we've got a few more to go. I'm thinking this baby bus can't be far off pushing back. Doors are closed. Not transponding yet, although we do have another Jet 2 to Antalya, 737-800 bleeping away. And just for completeness, that's that one. So it looks like the wind has moved round to the forecast southwesterly, but as you'll see, it's pretty gentle stuff. Alibi 58, I think you're right, mate. I think that an apple is the way to go. Oh, Nell says carrots are good too. Just for the horse. Bars of chocolate for Mark. They're best for Mark, easily. So, a warm welcome and good afternoon to anyone that has joined us at Plain Sailing Aviation. We are into the last half hour or so of our Friday chill out stream here at Newcastle International Airport. The plane you are looking at is a Jet 2 departure to Antalya. We've got a few more departs, I think, to show you before show concludes. We are planning on finishing at 4, but if there's any live action imminent, we will let the cameras roll till it runs out. Equally, if it dries up a little bit sooner, we'll take an early finish. Can't say fairer than that. It's always a perennial hazard at regional airports, continuity of movements, but it's all part of the chill down vibe, really. Beautiful afternoon in the end. Certainly the Met Bods are, I think, off the money. They said 60% chance of heavy showers around 3, and I think there's a 60% chance of heavy showers around 5, but we'll be done by then, even if we do a little bit of overtime. Chris Marshall alerts us to a Ryanair 737 inbound from Lanzarote. Cool is that? Rab H is a bananas man. You probably need it for the energy, feel like cycling. Yeah, definitely a Mars bars. Yeah, I don't do enough to be on that. I'm on an alternative diet plan. It's one that's got Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation looking over my shoulder, because left to my own devices I am truly hopeless. Not a great look, is it? But it's true. I'm just looking here at a Norwegian 737 that is flying to the south of the airport. It's Jan Balstrad, and I'm struggling to, I think Jan, if I remember correctly, was he a commando, Norwegian commando, or have I got Jan conflated with somebody else? Anyway, not landing here. It was just a momentary flight of fancy. So you'd expect the plane you were looking at to start moving. The inbound Ryanair from Lanzarote departed 3 hours 37 minutes ago, and that is beetling towards the coast, currently just passing Sunderland, heading out to the North Sea, probably going to cross the coast somewhere round and about North Shields, do a nice gentle arc round, and then come back over the coast a bit further up at Seaton Sluice. So flight radar says 5 minutes away, probably about 6 or 7 in truth. I think the next action will be this Jet 2. And of course, for anyone that has just joined the show, we are in a likes challenge at the minute set by Rab H, one of the great friends of our show. And if we get to 150 likes by our close, which is 4 o'clock, so 22 minutes or thereabouts, Rab will kindly gift a membership to Plain Sailing Aviation. So what's to lose? Give us that like. Give yourself a shot at the membership. Fantastic, really. Great generosity from Rab. And of course, as always, give us your sub if you like the show. If you don't, I wouldn't expect you to, as we watch this Jet 2, or a bit of a Jet 2, pushing back. So we've got one that's off to Antalya, and of course my flight radar would reset the minute I touch the screen. This is, it's a Nels Air Hub. It's a Nels Air Hub. NA to NA, to put plain language to an in-house show joke. NA to NA at the minute. Somewhere hot and sunny, almost certainly. Anyway, challenge is on. Down in the Bizjet Park, we have a transponding Naljets Cessna 525 Citation Jet. Now you're going to like this one, folks. If you like your Bizjets, you're going to like this. It's almost got shades of the Royal Flight Dassault that we looked at Edinburgh the other week. It's got a nice Union Jack tail fin, so if you like Union Jack tail fins, you're gonna like this. Either which way, it's a nice natty Bizjet. It's one that we see regular at Newcastle. It is based here. I never seem to catch it on a stream. We've been at this since January as well, but it's cheerfully avoided my clutches. I just wonder what that were. Gates just opening, another spotter with a long lens into the field. Yes, Nell, your air hub is a very, very popular destination. There's a lot of planes all parked up in Nell's back garden, Rab. So I think we're still NA. I'd expect that is going to show us a destination momentarily. Dalaman, sure enough, scheduled to depart at 3:20, so 20 minutes or so late. Hopefully that won't force it into an ATC break window. I was saying earlier in the show, the airport are apparently in the process of training additional staff, and for planes that miss their scheduled slots, they're probably at slightly more increased risk of additional delay in terms of how that fits in with break time for training and so forth. Anyway, not to worry, we'll see where our Bizjet is, because with the hedge line being fairly high here, I don't want to get mugged off with it coming out without me realising. Let's face it, that's a distinct possibility. So this is Bob there. Oh, good. Right, let's just get closer to the ops action. Another chopper by the sounds of it. Good afternoon.
You alright?
I think I'm going to get that. I can't see enough on my screen, unfortunately. Right, so we have a Ryanair into finals. So it's weighing up the action as it unfolds. And that's the incomer from Lanzarote. Been in the air 3 hours 42 minutes. And we have the Nowjets Cessna, what did we say it was? I think we said it was a citation jet, didn't we? 525. And that is irritatingly just perched below a bush at the minute. So I'm guessing he's going to have to hold for the moment. On that basis, let's just prepare for the Ryanair arrival. You are looking at runway 25, end of the single runway strip here at Newcastle. Proving a pig to hold a focus. It's all about trying to keep out the clutches of the hedge line. Welcome home, folks. Right, our little Bizjet is making a move. There it is. I think it's just going to go up and double back. But so this aircraft actually bound for the Isle of Man. well, I think this will go up like the proverbial rocket. So sorry I can't get you closer cleaner. Trouble with shooting down the runway on a hazy day, you kind of drift very easily into hazy fantasy, and that's exactly what we got, as you'll be able to see. Just too hazy, so I'm not going to go after it any more than that. It's a shame really, isn't it? Certainly doesn't need much runway to get up, does he? No chance. Full sun. Lured into it though. Why is the Eurowings still tucked in? Gotta check the time of departure on that. Steve Marchant, yes indeed. When I had one, I'd love one. As I've said many a time, and of course these things are pricier than you can ever imagine, but a big Euro Millions type win, I'm going to have a jet for a year. In the meantime, we still wait some departures, but both of these Jet 2s are parked. They have missed their original slots, which might play to the narrative that if you miss your slots, you might have to wait a bit longer. But the thing that was taxing me was the departure of the Eurowings baby bus, because the doors have been closed now for at least 20 minutes. And therefore curiosity has got hold of this cat. Yeah, should have gone at 3:15, so it's a good half an hour past its slot time. So we'll gonna have to see on that one. Yeah, an LW. If I were a rich man, can't give you any notes on that. Dry as a box of sand. Oh, and I can't hit a tune as well. Yeah, Alibi's took it into a brand scone. That will go down nicely. Definitely go down nicely. $18 more likes as well. This is proper 2020 stuff, isn't it? It's a bit like the other show. 10 minutes to go. 18 more likes. 128 people concurrently on the show. If you want to give yourself a chance of a gifted membership, free, gratis, courtesy of the one and only Rab H, it's got to help. Put your like on the screen, might as well subscribe and hit the notification button along the way, but the rest of it will just look after itself. Be nice to go home and know that somebody has got something out of something for nothing, as I say. So a couple of Jet 2s there, Antalya and Dalaman. I think that's what we said they were. Tell Mark's ready for his tea. But to protect the camera for a quick rotation. So we've got these beauties on the far side. I think we said the one in the foreground was a South African G-Lex, if I remember correctly. I do like the tail fin. That is pretty vibrant. Tell you what, if that actually took to the air in the last 20 minutes of the show, it'd make this old geezer very happy, but it'd be my plane of the day. Eurowings, are they moving? I think they're getting ready to move if not actually moving. See a member of the ops team in proximity. I think that's about to go. Instead of just waiting on ATC. And we'll come back to that in a second, folks, because we've got Jet 2, that's D-board out. Oh, it's Ryanair, never mind Jet 2. Give your glasses a white mark. Ryanair, deboarding, that's the Lanzarote flight. We have Jet 2 over here at gate 4. And it looks like our easyJet Europe car, which I'm guessing is returning to Bristol, it's certainly transponding, almost certainly returning to Bristol. Assuming it's not going via Naples Air Hub. No, Bristol it is. So there you go, folks. Looks like we're getting to a crescendo of departure action. And thank Crunchy for that. The sun has just gone in. Chopper is inbound at the minute, far end of the airfield. So let's have a bit of that. Best we can without hazing you out. Might be able to hear the startup in the background. Heavy-handed mark. No change there. So I reckon in the last phase of the show we are on course for 3, probably 4 departures pretty much back to back. Good stuff. Seen a few choppers today, haven't we? So I think this plane can't be far off moving. We'll keep the ops chaps and lasses in shot as best we can. Shred ahead. How you doing, mate? Hope you're keeping well. Tabin Khan, similarly. Tabin, hope all is good with you both. You are here for the finale. The finale of our Friday afternoon chill out show here at Newcastle. So we are closing down on 150 likes, challenge set by Rab H, very kindly set, who will gift the membership if we hit that milestone. Chris Marshall tells us we have a Chewy as well on finals from Zakynthos. Nice one, Chris. So it looks like it's not going to be exclusively departure action in the last phase of the show. There's a Zakynthos plane, a 737-800, which departed 3 hours 21 minutes ago, and I have just this second got visual on it. Europe car is clearly going to be, as you will have seen, as it photo bombed the Eurowings, next out as it returns to Bristol. So we'll just stay with that momentarily, folks. Shred ahead, glad to know you are fine and dandy. Bank holiday weekend, Hove's interview. Hopefully you're not working or having to do anything that detracts from the bank holiday weekend vibe. I mean, is it? Yeah, it isn't. It's the last one before Christmas. Oh man, it's a weird thing about UK bank holidays. They kind of all come at once. And not often where the weather's with you. 10 more likes, says Rab H. Oh dear, building to it, folks. Come on, give it that like button. Easy to find on the screen. Give you a chance of a free membership. It's going to be there or thereabouts. Proper 2020 cricket in a plain sailing aviation context. We'll stay with this as it goes out. Eurowings. In fact, let's have the Eurowings. It's going to be a cleaner shot. Yeah, Kit Kat Panda style. I've been tracking this plane, and there it is. It's pushing back. That's far enough. So we will pick up the arriving aircraft. Oh, that's interesting. Alibi 58. The Bizjet, which we'll go to with the natty tail fin, has got a different livery on the other side. Oh, they're even better planes, aren't they? Anyway, let's get the Zakynthos arrival down and parked up. Yeah, it's a good shout, Alibi. That'll be a proper collector's piece. So it could well be the last departure of the show. Oh, arrival. Dole. There's me trying to think of move ahead and coming off second best. Yeah, last arrival, I think. As we watch it trundle away to the far side of the terminal building. The Bristol bound easyJet is about just over halfway down the runway. We'll not chase that one at the minute. So what's the best looking action to show you? Oh, it's this little baby bus. Oh. Courtesy of Eurowings. Which will probably start moving the minute I rest the camera there. Good afternoon, Nicks. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation. I'm Mark. Did we know there was a split skim Jet 2? I think I have heard that said. I don't think we've seen it in today's show, but my more learned friends will put me right on that, Nix. So 6 more likes. Crikey, drum roll. Boom, 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 boom. Tabin asks, am I live streaming tomorrow? That is the hope, Tabin. 10 to 12 will be on air through till about 4 o'clock is the plan. But that's subject to the weather and me having a quick look-see at the movements on offer. So, helicopter outbound. Crikey, this weren't hanging about. I'm guessing they were told to get a wriggle on to release the easyJet departure. Eurowings now on the move, so I think we're going to be busy. Maverick Hawk 55, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Booty, where we go.
Okay, Maverick Hawk says we've got a split skim at 4:10. Tell you what, I'm convinced. I'll put it in the hands of my moderators. There's Alibi. Nell, what do you reckon? Are we good for another 10 minutes? I think I'm good for juice. As long as we've got continuity and folks are comfy, I'm comfy. Yeah, you're right, Alibi. Maverick Hawk, yeah. Dial down the caps. I get the excitement, of course. Took me a while to get the hang of that myself. It's just got a little bit easier at the back with that big fat rain cloud. So, departure action, what's happening? Eurowings definitely getting a wriggle on. So that should have gone around 3:20. But also getting a wriggle on. We have a Jet 2. I'm not quite sure if that's the Antalya or the Dalaman depart. Let's just find out. With my rather stodgy flight radar. Antalya is the plane you were looking at. To be pursued. What is it being pursued by? I'm not sure. Let's stay with this one for the minute. I think the other Jet 2, which I think is the Dalaman one, is just stubbornly staying parked up. So Dusseldorf, first departure in the remainder of the show. Let's have a look. Nick says, just informing you of the horse to the left of the field. I don't know if Nick's is stood at the side of me. Any of you guys Nicks? What? Any of you guys Nicks? Hi Nicks, good to meet you. Good to meet you. I was thinking Nick's is very well informed. And the question about Europe cars, it's just a car hire company, just like Enterprise or Hertz. I think Hertz is still one of those. Just looking in the chat. Is that already in the chat? I'm seeing a number of deleted messages. Slightly puzzled because I'm not active. Right, well, I'm seeing a number of deleted messages. Oh, Eddie, hey up Eddie, you're giving your old man a heart attack. Rabbit the horse is the channel. Scathing. That's a Simon Cowell kind of critic review. Melody R, good afternoon Melody. Hope you're having a decent week. Eddie, I hope you're having a good week. FPL Matt, good afternoon FPL Matt. Some epic movements in 2 weeks time, do tell. I'm all for epic movements. Plane you are looking at, an A319 baby bus on its way to Dusseldorf. Ah, yeah. Alibi, it wasn't, I can't claim any dexterity, that's all our Eddie. He's obviously rested. Soaking up those sun rays. I'm telling you, our Eddie has more holidays than Judith Chalmers. Sort of period joke for those of you who can remember the Wish You Were Here show that was on in the 70s, 80s and probably 90s. Anyway,
let's get this baby bus. Honestly, I thought I'd been hacked. See, plain sailing aviation deleting this, that and the other. Like I see a Jet 2 on the far side has pushed back and turned. We'll just train on this Ryanair for the second. There's another Jet 2 at the far end, waiting to line up but holding short, which is interesting. So Eddie, you were hoping to chill and watch some planes. You've come, you woke up from your siesta. You've got a rather unpleasant heat wave. Oh, we ain't got that. Another Jet 2 moving. We're into that last bit of the show really, with a bit of Jet 2 stuff. Anyway, good to see you, son. We are literally batting out the last phase of the show. This plane off to Dalaman. I think the one that's about to line up is the Antalya one. I do get these confused sometimes because, well, I've seen you a moment. And then there's another Jet 2 which I can see turned on the far side of the building off to Larnaca. So I propose we take all of the above. They look like they're all going to be going in fairly quick order. I think we're pretty much done and dusted on arrivals. Yeah, that was just me checking. Sorry, I've just lagged the camera. So folks, thank you so much for your fantastic support this afternoon as we bring the show towards its finale conclusion. Looking in the chat, now W, Plain Sailing Aviation, Alibi 58, RabH, TCC, plenty of Jet 2 tailfin. It is very much that Jet 2 period of the show as we look at the classic look. So let's go to the Antalya. This is the Dalaman plane, and this one is off to Antalya, just lining itself up nice and leisurely, holiday mode already. And a shout out for Chavs, now a member for 2 months of Plain Sailing Aviation. Excellent news, Chavs. Hope you are enjoying your membership. Right, showtime. Okay, I see the forgot which one it was now. Another Jet 2 taxiing out, but let's just take this one first. Okay, so it looks like 3 on the spin. There's your next one. Just rest in there for a minute. Nothing on finals. RCC, thank you mate. We always aim to please. I've got a bit of a freeze there. Don't know if that's the overfly on us. Definitely dropped no frames here though, so yeah, that's got to be a YT issue, because I'm dropping nothing airside. I'm not even airside, am I? So just check nothing is going to snick in. Final arrival. We'll have that one. No, kidding, a sweet shot. Lining up for Dalaman. So I reckon, we're rolling. I'll hold that thought. Ooh, hang on a minute. Firework time. I'll have to come to that. Rab H. We've obviously hit the 150. I thank you, sir. I thank you so much. Fireworks will be on in a jiff. I don't even know who the lucky beneficiary is. Two to go. There's first of the two. Because I better get my tea on. Oh, fireworks. Fireworks, cue fireworks. This is for you, Rab. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Great support. And if I'm not much mistaken, Shred Ahead is, yes, Shred Ahead. Well done, Shred Ahead. Custy. There you go. Friday afternoon just took a turn on the upward. Yeah, November the 5th already. All safety precautions thoroughly observed. Yeah, dear me. Awesome stuff though. RCC, thank you so much. Listen, we're going to get the fireworks back on. Fireworks. Moving, I think. Thank you so much, RCC. Yeah, it's moving all right. So, penultimate plane of the show, folks. By gum. So, back on air tomorrow. Look out for the community post, and just to confirm it, but in the thumbnail, of course. But we are planning on around 10 to 12 to track the arrival of the Emirates triple. So if it was running a little bit early, we might start near 11:30. There you go, last one. So this plane bound for Tenerife. 737, 800. What else could it be? Oops, where's it gone? So I've just disturbed the camera. Trouble is, and folks with cameras will know this, when you're on zoom, particularly towards the far end of your zoom, you only have to nudge the camera a tiniest of bits and it moves a lot. Of course, the motto is don't move it a tiniest of bits. Trevor is on the Jet 2 517 2 weeks today. LS 517. Oh, there's a sniff we might catch you for our Friday show then, Trevor. Just depends what else we have got in the pipeline. But we kind of like to do a Friday show if we can. It's quite a nice way to finish the week. Oh, Chris says there's a Jet 2 inbound from Kefalonia. If that is literally small minutes behind this, we'll have it, but if it's 10 minutes, I'll close the show, Chris and everybody. You've been awesome this afternoon. I've got this feeling we're due a shower, says me. We've aced it. We've aced it, folks. Right, so let's just put the camera somewhere neutral, take stock of that incoming flight, whether it is literally going to be on us. I hate those ones where you're packing down and the plane appears. Okay, Kefalonia plane inbound, 4 minutes. Let's have it. I'll tell you what I'll do though, let me close the show in the way I usually do. Won't be a long one for today's show because I've not bought enough paper. Right, so just bear with me. So let's check I'm presentable for camera. No need for a comment there, folks. And here we are. So my horse seems to have disappeared. I think he was shepherding some young lads that were here earlier to the gate. Anyway, awesome stuff, folks. Thank you so much for your support this afternoon. As always, without moderators, we are nothing. So Alibi 58, Les Donaldson, Nell W, who heroically has been to the dentist and joined us to support us. It's been lovely to see Dopey Gorp and Alexandra Wood when they've been able to drop into the show. And of course, all our regular friends of the channel, too many to name. So I'm going to say a couple of particular shout outs. So Rab H for very kindly donating a membership, and I'm delighted that Shredderhead is the lucky recipient for that, so excellent stuff. And RCC, who's very kindly bought me a coffee. So again, thanks folks. It's been great to catch up with R. Eddie. Believe it or not, this is the most I've heard from him in the last week. So final action will be the incoming Jet 2 from, did we say Kefalonia? I'm tired now. Back on air tomorrow as discussed, around 10 to 12. Please do make sure you've got the notification bell hit though, in case we tweak forward a little bit, because we want to kind of sync the opening of the show with the arrival of the Emirates 777. And of course the other variable is the weather. So thank you all, one and all, you've been awesome. We'll just close down with the arrival of the Jet 2 and then have your tea or whatever it is you are hoping to do wherever you are. UK time, it's generally tea time, isn't it? And I'll be honest, that's where my thoughts are going. So Rusty, just checking over my shoulder. I can see there's a Jet 2 pushed and turned, but we'll not hang on for that one. There's always another day. Let's just get the final landing of the show. Thanks everyone.
Catch you next time. Of course, I'll still be on audio. Let's just go to those rather natty jets. Over there. Get your glasses back on, Mark. Glasses on. Yeah, so the one in the foreground, that is the one I think Alibi said in the chat. It's worth checking out, folks. Jet photos. I think it's got a different livery on the other side of the tail fin, which sounds pretty awesome. Already's got the short final emoji going. Good stuff already. I'm just quickly looking in as well. DA Con, good afternoon, and thank you so much for your kind words of support. Much appreciated. Terry Stapley, thank you so much. And Melody Art, my pleasure. Shredderhead, my pleasure too. Honestly, we love sharing the planes and sharing the action. And of course, you're such great company. And I'm not just saying it for effect, it's the thing that really motivates Eddie and I. We're really lucky on this channel with the people that we meet. Chris Marshall, thank you so much as well for your help with calling out on movements. It's been a great afternoon. So here you go. Here's our last arrival. Last plane of the show. And then I'll be up the A1, and of course on a Friday on a bank holiday weekend there'll be a lot of people who are actually arriving for their Friday night essentially. Very good, Les Donaldson. Atlanta has Delta, Newcastle has Jet 2. Yeah. There you go, 2 for 1 in that final shot. Right folks, whatever you're doing next, take care and have fun, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye now.